Welcome back to my channel, guys. This is going to be, it's a sweet and sour news. Netflix announces new partnership with Nas, Science Zaru, Mappa Studio Mer. And I think it's news that it's good in one hand, but it's also not so good. And I'll explain that right now in just a moment. But before I do that, if you have not done so by now, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. There is a giveaway happening for those who are subscribed. So if you haven't subscribed, do that now. Then after this video, it's a short video. After this video, go and watch that video and follow all the instructions on the giveaway video. November 1st, I'll be announcing the winner, so make sure you go and follow the stuff. Okay, uh, ID. Sorry, Netflix has done a business alliance with all these companies. Studio like Nas, this is the company that gave us ID Invaded, which I think was released through Funimation. Infinite Dendrogram, which I know that for sure was through Funimation. And then Science Shadow, which gave us Japan Sinks 2020. That was in Netflix. Good anime. Keep Your Hands Off Izukin, that came out in Crunchyroll, and I believe it's also on High Dive. Also a good anime. Mappa, who brought us the also wonderful Yuri on Ice, and Jujutsu Kaisen, which is airing right now. One of the probably not one of the probably the best, I would say. I mean, there's some that are kind of competing against it, but I would say it's one of the top three, I guess, for sure, of today's. And South Korea Studio Mer, which I myself don't watch a lot of stuff from South Korea animation, but this is the studio that brought us The Legend of Korra and Voltron Legendary Defender. Again, haven't seen those personally, but I know a lot of people are into that, especially The Legend of Korra. So, uh, pretty big companies are coming in to play with Netflix. I would say these aren't the biggest ones. From all these, the one that I'm more excited about is Mappa, to be honest. But they're pretty big companies. I mean, they're sizable in Japan. Netflix had previously announced, and this is the second paragraph, partnership with production IG sister company Wit Studio and Bones. Bones is the one that brought us My Hero Academia. Huge anime, which has already resulted in such anime as The Great Pretender, Kara on Tuesday, and Dragon Pilot, Hizune, and Masotan. All those. Well, I haven't seen Dragon Pilot, but the first two for sure were great animes. They did really well on Netflix. In 2019, they announced similar partnerships with Anima Sublimation and David Production. Sublimation produced the recent Dragon's Dogma anime series on Netflix, while Wit Studio is producing the Vampire in the Garden original anime series. Okay, so all this comes to us that all these companies are essentially saying, Netflix, we want to partner up with you. There's a few things that I like about this and a few things that I don't like about this. First, let's put Netflix on the spotlight. There's two things that are very obvious that is not good for the anime community. One, Netflix is not an episode by episode company. I think that's the biggest one that we can hit on. Netflix waits until the entire series is released in Japan, and then they take a few months to sub it and dub it, and it takes months for that, and then they release it to us. So we don't get the first episode, or really any of the episodes, until like 6 months after it's been watched and discussed by so many people around the world. Now, Netflix is not an episode by episode company in the US. I have, from what I've heard from other sources, Netflix is an episode by episode in other countries, like in Japan. So why can't it be like that in the US? I don't know. Other than maybe they don't want to work as much as fast as possible as like maybe Crunchyroll and Funimation does to do it simultaneously, releasing a sub for us, which is what most anime watchers would want. Netflix is really catering to a younger generation of anime watchers that are okay with watching an anime once it's been released, once it's been reviewed, once it's been reacted to. They're okay with that. And that's okay. But with people like me that would want an episode by episode release, it's not happening. And I wish that Netflix would change their way that they do the system here. I wish they would listen to us as a community, and they're not doing that. Secondly, Netflix as a company is not doing so well as it used to. I think it's definitely going downhill, and maybe it'll come up again, and maybe this is one of those things that will help it come up again. But as it right now, I feel like Netflix is more and more digressing. More and more people are watching stuff from Disney Plus, HBO Max. Now you have Peacock that is coming out with their own stuff. So many other companies have taken away of a lot of binge worthy shows that Netflix had, and a lot of people like me. I mean, I'll be honest. I would watch The Office and Friends and Parks and Rec and How I Met Your Mother with my wife over and over again as background sound sometimes in my house. And Netflix has taken or has lost a lot of those licenses because all these other companies are making their own subscriptions, and now Netflix is left with trying to pick itself up from not so well known stuff. Now, Netflix again is not an anime per se company. It's in a way trying to recuperate more sales by becoming more anime oriented, at least as what I've seen. Is that a bad thing? Not per se. Again, it's a good thing. It's helping a lot of people here in the US that are very young in anime. But again, a lot of the stuff that they're releasing, to be honest, I've seen. So it's kind of like, okay, give me new stuff. And the new stuff that I want to see, give it to me as soon as possible. And that's what I'm a little bit concerned with all these companies teaming up with Netflix. That means that they're going to be putting less anime through Crunchyroll, less anime through Funimation, less anime through High Dive, which are companies that actually do episode by episode releases. Or even Hulu, they do episode by episode releases, which is what we want. So, Netflix, I'm happy that you're teaming up with a bunch of companies. Give us episode by episode. That's all we're asking for. And I hope you change your mind at one point and do that for the US. That is all, guys. That was my little rant on Netflix releasing or partnering up with these companies and, in a way, not doing so much good for the anime. In other ways, they are. So, thank you for your love and support to my channel, guys. Give some love to this video, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Guys, like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.